There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, my very special guest, Dennis and Danielle. Danielle, a young family that's blazing the trail. There's always somebody on the tip of the spear, and they're it. And fortunately, they've already had enough publicity that kept the man at bay just a little bit. But, you know, the knowledge is out. The system has been, I wouldn't say perfected, but, man, it's definitely a long ways into the future where we've already come to understand a great deal of what can be done in the desert. Now, that's one thing I want to get to is how much food are you able to produce? What percentage of it is? Let me ask Danielle that. Danielle, I still got you there? You there,
yes,
Danielle?
I'm here.
Danielle, go ahead and help me, you know, as, Mom, you know, you're looking at the type of food that's coming out of your pool, and you're going, what, yay? This is better quality food. My young children are getting good nutrition. How much of is it? What percentage does it take up of your food budget? Go ahead and help me out with the audience understanding that part of it.
Basically, it can vary from 50 to 70% off of our grocery bill. It just depends on what we're growing, what's in season. Really, we just added some fruit trees actually outside our garden pool, so once they start producing fruit, then the numbers will go up again.
So this is not everything. I mean, let me ask that question. It's the greatest depression ever was, and you're finally starting to, you know, collect rainwater or something, and you're able to feed yourself entirely off of this if you wanted to. I mean, is that possible?
Absolutely. That's very, very possible.
So what do you supplement your diet from your gardenpool.org? What do you supplement as part of your diet that you don't get?
Like right now, our children, they like bananas, but we do have a Cavendish banana tree. It's just we need a few more leaves before we get bananas. So bananas would be something. Grains, we just started growing some quinoa and some amaranth. However, we don't have any full-grown plants, so we do have to get grain. We do have to get oil.
So, like, you're getting some type of oils, like olive oil or something to be able to, I guess, cook with or supplement your diet. But, you know, so these are things as you start to see your grocery bill going down, it's because you're seeing what's keeping it up, and you go, you know, we can do that.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, that's fascinating. You know, the other thing I remember you're talking about, back to Dennis, you were saying that you've come to the decision that you need to start collecting your own rainwater. Why?
Well, really, as far as self-sufficiency goes, water is more important than food. You know, our big goal is to be totally self-sufficient. So we would like to get off of the city water if we can, and we think we can harvest and purify thousands of gallons of water.
So you're just going to collect it from your roof into barrels or your pool, and then you're not having to recharge your system either. And also, of course, you get to hydrate yourself.
Yeah. Our big goal is to be water self-sufficient. You know, we got the food system down pretty good, still working on it, but our next challenge is water. And then, so what we're going to do is we're going to basically coat our roof with a real thick layer of aluminum, you know, so we don't have to worry about the shingles. And we'll collect the water in big cisterns, and then we'll have as much water as we have. And because our pool is below grade, it can be gravity fed. We won't even have to use pumps if we want to fill up our pool.
You know, that's another thing. You know, what you collected in, I don't know if there's some, you know, naturalist out there freaking out that you're having water flowing over aluminum, or would they rather it be plastic, or would they rather it be tar, or they rather, I mean, or wood, or what? I mean, I have no idea. But the is that a concern to you, what you're actually collecting the water on or in?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We need to know, you know, if it's basically, if you can use that substance with food, then it's okay to use in our system. And as we know, aluminum is one of the better things as far as choices goes. We couldn't have a glass roof. That'd be crazy. But the neat thing about using an aluminum roof is it actually reflects a ton of energy, a ton of heat back to space. And being in the desert, that's great. So it should reduce our heat bill 35%. It's actually an Energy Star rated roof.
Oh, we got another thing that you're starting to, I'm sure contemplating is production of power. By reducing your power, you go to LEDs, you use low efficient pumps, and then you, oh my goodness, might start collecting. We see in the pictures that we put up from your site, you're also cooking in a solar oven.
Mm-hmm. Well, once we fix the roof, then we're going to do solar panels. We pretty much have to redo our roof before we go up there and spend a fortune on solar panels. So that's basically our last step, and then we're pretty happy. We'll still keep working, but that was our plan. And so we got a couple years left to our 5-year goal, and we're pretty much on our way.
Okay, now this is you're in the metropolis. I mean, you're in Mesa, Arizona, which is not the prairie of Kansas. So I'm wondering, is it something that you're looking to transplant somewhere, or are you planning on staying here? Do either of you work outside the home that you need to be here? Or are you looking to raise the children in something a little bit less urban? I mean, what's your long-term plan?
Well, I knew that, I had a feeling that there would be a lot of eyes on us, and that was my contemplation is most people live in the city. It's a fact of life. Like 80% of the population in America lives in the city. So what I wanted to focus our energies on is how can we do this in the city? How can we do this in the backyard? How can we do this so that a majority of folks can do it? We actually were going to move to Ohio, and we did. We moved to Ohio right before the economic downturn, and then after that all the jobs froze, so we went back to Arizona because we knew we can get a job here. So for us, I guess it is being stuck in the city, worrying about a job. I work from home, but my wife doesn't. So, but the nice thing is we're trying to figure out how other people can do it. So I don't think that a majority of people are able to go and buy land outside of the city. That's my thought.
Why? And just because the economics, they aren't able to afford it, or so this is something that you're going, look, you got a patio in your townhome and an apartment living, kind of we can downsize and start doing. I mean, and why are you so concerned about other people? I mean, not that that's a bad thing. I'm just you're looking. We want to make this technology and blaze the trail for others. What would bring you to even want to do that?
Well, what's happened in Japan. They had a horrible situation, but look how their culture has dealt with it. It's amazing. I have huge respect for their culture, and they have a society that has, I guess, a greater connectedness. I think that what scares me about what our society, when things get bad, is that look what happened in Katrina. Look what happens when things go bad in America. Riots and horrible things happen. Nobody's prepared. It's pretty scary. So we would like to, prepare for the future, I guess, and share it, and then show folks that it's not that out there to be doing what we're doing.
I don't really have a problem with thinking that people would come to the aid of others given the opportunity. We saw it in Katrina. A line of 600 bass boats, people from all over the region coming in knew that they needed to go help people get off roofs, and you got FEMA and guys with M16 saying none shall pass. And I'm, wow, man, I just get the man out of the way. And that's why I fear for a lot of what may happen, simply because people that are able to demonstrate that we can be independent, there's somebody going, no. We don't want you to be. So I'm going, okay. I see where this is going. But you guys have really, really done a lot, not just for your family and your friends and neighbors, but I mean, it's a humanity thing. This is, I mean, you guys are starting to realize how important your work is for humanity, I would imagine.
It's starting to sink in. We get a lot of, emails from around the world, from developing countries. Thankful for what we're doing, and it's motivating us.
Okay, let me go ahead and summarize this real quick. an empty pool. They decide, they evolved to the point that they got algae-eating fish. So many they have to have a catfish to eat the extra there and a turtle. Then the water is pumped low watts using solar power and marine battery backup that goes up, feeds plants. It filters down. It grows earthworms to use the fish for the fish. Then it goes down in duckweed that purifies and becomes the food for the chickens. The chickens also are fed by grubs of the soldier fly. It's a closed system, quality food, reducing their footprint and, man, becoming independent. Thanks, Danielle and Dennis. We'll be back Monday. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.